Pure Mathematics 1, Chapter 1, Surds and Indices. Starting with the laws of indices, if there is a multiplication of two powers with the same base, we add the powers. For the division, we subtract the powers, and power of power, we multiply the powers. Any number to the power of 0 is equal to 1. For the negative power, it's 1 over a to the power m, and then the fractional power, a to the power 1 over n, is the same as the nth root of a to the power 1, and a to the power m over n is the nth root of a to the power m. The last one here, ab to the power n, is an bn. So this is everything regarding indices. Now surds. For surds, if we have root a times root a, this is equal to a. Root a times root b, it's root ab. Root a over root b is root of a over b. Now rationalizing the denominator, if we have a surd in the denominator, like in this case, we have to multiply by root b up and down, we get a root b over b. But if we have an expression in the denominator, like a over b plus root c, in that case we have to multiply by the conjugate of the denominator. What does that mean? So the same terms with the opposite sign. So here we have b plus root c, we multiply by b minus root c. So denominator will be difference of two squares, so directly we can put b squared minus c, and then denominator will be ab minus a root c. So this is everything in chapter 1 p1. Okay, now we are going to solve some questions on surds and indices. Here in this question we have to replace every a by 1 over 64x squared and every b by 16 over root x, and we have to give our answer in the form kx to the power over n. Kx to the power n. Let's start with the first one. We have a to the power half. This is the same as square root of a. So it's a square root of 1 over 64x squared. Square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 64 is 8. Square root of x squared is x. So the final answer is 1 over 8x. That one we cannot write it as x over 8 because they want it in the form kxn. So we have to show that k is 1 over 8. For the second one, we have 16 over b cubed. So it's 16 over root x. All of it to the power of 3. Division of two fractions is the multiplication by the inverse. So root x over 16 power 3, and then cancel by 16, you get x to the power 3 over 2 over 16 squared, because here we had 16 cubed. So if we cancel by 16, we get 16 squared. So it's 1 over 16 squared, x to the power 3 over 2. And then if we use a calculator to find the value of 16 squared, we get 256. So it's 1 over 256 x to the power 3 over 2. Let's move on now to the third one. We have ab over 2 to the power negative 4 over 3. So it's 1 over 64 x squared times 16 over root x, all of it to the power, out of 2, to the power negative 4 over 3. So let's do by calculator. 1 over 64, multiply it by 16, and then divide everything by 2, you get 1/8. And then x squared over root x. Root x is x power half, and then 2 take away half is 3/2, all of it to the power -4/3, and then apply power -4/3 to 1/8. If you use calculator to the power -4/3, this will give you 16, and then x to the power 3/2 multiplied by -4/3, it will give you x to the power -2. So this is the final answer here. Okay, here is another question on surds. For part A, we have a minus root 15 over 2 root 3 plus root 5. We have to rationalize the denominator by multiplying by its conjugate. So we multiply by 2 root 3 minus root 5 up and down. Before we do that, we have to show that root 15 is the same as root 3 root 5, so we can replace it here, and then we do the multiplication. 8 by 2 root 3, which is 16 root 3 minus 8 root 5, and then minus, we have root 3 root 5 by 2 root 3. Root 3 by root 3 will give us 3 times 2 is 6 root 5, and the negative by negative is positive. Root 3 root 5 by root 5 is just 5 root 3, and then here it's a plus b into a minus b, which is the difference of two squares. So the square of the first term, the square of 2 root 3 is 12 minus the square of root 5, which is 5. And then we collect like terms. In root 3 we have 16 plus 5, which is 21 root 3, and then in root 5 we have -8 root 5 minus 6 root 5, which is -14 root 5, and then down we have 12 minus 5, which is just 7. Now we divide everything by 7, we get 3 root 3 minus 2 root 5. So this is the answer for part A. Now moving to part B. So again here we get 3 root 3 minus 2 root 5. In part B it says hence or otherwise, so you could use the answer that you found in part A. We have x plus 5 root 3 root 5 equal 40 minus 2x root 3. First step, we expand the brackets here. We get x root 5 minus 5 root 15, plus 5 root 15 equal 40 minus 2x root 3. And then we move the terms in x to one side. So x root 5 plus 2x root 3 is 40 minus 5 root 15. We take x as a common factor. Root 5 plus 2 root 3 equal 40 minus 5 root 15. And then we take that bracket to the other side. So we divide by root 5 plus 2 root 3. Okay, now let's compare what we got now to what we had in part A. We had 8 minus root 15 over 2 root 3 plus root 5, which is the same as this, but divided by 5. So here we have 5 times 8 minus root 15 over root 5 plus 2 root 3. So we multiply the answer that we got in part A by 3 root 3 minus 2 root 5. So 15 root 3 minus 10 root 5 is the answer. Here is one more question on indices. So we have to write this in the form A, P, B, Q, C. So we start by the left hand side. We have 3pq2 power 4 times 2p root q8. 3 power 4 is 81. P power 4, Q power 2 power 4. Again we multiply the powers, so times 2p, and root of q8 is q to the power of 4. Now 2 by 81 is 162. P4 by P is P5. Q8 by Q4 is Q12. And this is the answer. Okay, here is one more question on surds and indices. So we have to find y as a simplified function of x. So whenever we have an equation with powers in it, we try to make all the powers out of the same base. So 3x over 3 for y. The 27, we have to convert it into a power of 3, so it's 3 power 3. And then root 3 also we have to convert it into a power of 3, which is 3 power half. And then on the left side we have division of two powers with the same base, so we subtract the powers. And on the right side we have multiplication, so we add the powers. 3 plus half is 3 and a half, so we could write it here as a mixed number or as a decimal, 3.5 or 3 and a half or 7 over 2 as a fraction. I prefer to leave it as an improper fraction. And then now by comparison we have same base, so we remove the base, and x minus 4y will be 7 over 2. X minus 7 over 2 is 4y, and then we divide everything by 4, so x over 4 minus 7 over 2 over 4, which is over 8, equal y. And this is the answer.